It's official. The 2023 F1 calendar has been officially confirmed, with 23 races scheduled to take place this season following the recent cancellation of the Chinese Grand Prix. The season will begin in Bahrain in early March and close in Abu Dhabi in late November. The 2023 season will see the debut of the much-anticipated Las Vegas Grand Prix, as well as a return to Qatar after a year out due to the Football World Cup. The 2022 Formula 1 season ended in a dramatic manner where Max Verstappen took all the honours. He set the record for the most wins in a season with 15 wins, as well as Red Bull taking its first Constructors' title since 2013. But most interestingly, 7-time champion Lewis Hamilton struggled to get his Mercedes car into shape to win a race throughout the season. This is the first time in his career he has not won a single race. Also, the 4-time champion Sebastian Vettel decided to call it quits after the 2022 season. Vettel ended his career with 53 wins and 122 podiums. Carlos Sainz got his first career win in style. He started from pole in his 150th race and went on to finish on the podium. He became only the second Spaniard to win a Formula 1 race after Fernando Alonso. But with all those aside, it's almost time for a new season. Make sure to subscribe to the channel as we look into the 2023 Formula 1 season. The F1 calendar has seen numerous changes in recent years. New circuits have joined the calendar, such as the Jeddah Corniche circuit in Saudi Arabia. Previous Grand Prix circuits such as Melbourne and Singapore will return to the fold after the COVID-19 pandemic, along with Canadian and Japanese circuits which had also been cancelled in recent years for similar reasons. The calendar continues to grow after the Las Vegas Grand Prix was announced for the 2023 season, making it the third American circuit on the calendar after Austin and Miami. Following the initial announcement of the Chinese Grand Prix's cancellation due to ongoing difficulties of COVID-19 restrictions in the country, F1 was considering alternative options to fill the vacancy to ensure it could maintain its plan for a 24-race calendar. However, it has been confirmed that the gap in the schedule will remain unfilled, meaning that there will be 23 races this season, which will kick off in Bahrain on the 3rd of March and culminate at the final round in Abu Dhabi on the 26th of November. In this season, 20 drivers and 10 teams will be preparing themselves for the action. As teams, Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, Alpine, McLaren, Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin, Haas, AlphaTauri and Williams are there. All teams are due to compete with tyres supplied by Pirelli. Each team is required to enter at least 2 drivers, one for each of the 2 mandatory cars. Honda returns as a named engine supplier to Red Bull Racing and AlphaTauri, with both teams' engines badged as Honda RBPT. While Red Bull Powertrains had planned to take over assembly and maintenance of the engines from this season onwards, it was later agreed that Honda would continue its technical support of Red Bull Racing and AlphaTauri until the end of 2025. When considering the drivers, 4 drivers left the series at the end of the last campaign, meaning that 4 new or returning faces will fill the vacant spaces. Sebastian Vettel opted to retire from Formula 1 after 2022, while Daniel Ricciardo, Mick Schumacher and Nicholas Latifi all lost their seats. Fernando Alonso will be moving to Aston Martin to replace Vettel, and Pierre Gasly switching from AlphaTauri to take Alonso's spot at Alpine. Nick de Vries will join the Red Bull sister team in Gasly's place. The other rookies will be Oscar Piastri at McLaren and Logan Sargent at Williams, while Nico Hülkenberg makes a comeback to join Haas.
Onto him. Perez may have a go up the inside. Doesn't have to get out of the throttle. He was pushed to the outside there.
Pre-season testing has been over, making way for the season to get underway with the Bahrain Grand Prix weekend. 3 days of testing occurred at the Bahrain track earlier this week, as teams look to gather data on their new challengers. Although testing doesn't provide a definite answer as to how the grid will shape up for the upcoming campaign, it's clear that some teams are in better positions than others. Heading into the 2023 season, Red Bull is a favourite once again as it enjoyed a smooth test, setting the fastest lap of the event with Sergio Perez. Ferrari and Mercedes will be hoping to dethrone their rivals, while there may well be a shift in the midfield pack. Aston Martin caught the eye of many onlookers during the test, as it has been tipped to be fighting at the head of the midfield at the start of the new campaign. Fernando Alonso, who has joined it for the upcoming year after spending the last 2 seasons with Alpine, led the drivers in total lap count across the 3 days. McLaren, however, suffered a challenging few days with various issues popping up, meaning it has the least experienced squad heading into the 2023 campaign. Out of the 4 power unit suppliers, it comes as no surprise that Mercedes set the most mileage, given it is the only squad to deliver engines to 4 teams. It was followed by Ferrari, who has 3 suppliers, with Red Bull and Renault rounding out the shortlist. Renault, who solely powers Alpine, was the only manufacturer not to breach the 2,000 kilometers covered across the test. The fastest lap times were set on the final day of running, with Sergio Perez taking the top spot for Red Bull. However, there's no indication of what engine modes or fuel levels teams are running during these tests, so establishing a pecking order based on the best times is near impossible. With all this news and talks piling up, we can hope that it's going to be an exciting season. Will the champion Verstappen be able to defend his title, or will a new champion emerge? Will the former world champion who failed in the last season make a comeback for the championship? Who knows? Let's stay tuned as the 2023 season progresses. Make sure to subscribe to the channel as we bring you the latest news from the Formula 1 world. See you next time.